What's up, Rebuke? Rebuke All Devils Radio. Rebuke All Devils Radio. 107.7. A hell of a name for a radio station. Rebuke All Devils. I'm with you, man. Rebuke All Devils. Put an addendum on it. And uncivilized much.
YouTube, what's up? What's going on, man? It's your boy Rebuke All Devils, and welcome back to another edition of Rebuke All Devils Radio, where we try to rebuke devils on a daily basis, man. And this devilish dad that we have right here is no joke. This dude is very, very sick, fam. This dude is sick, and y'all might have heard about this story. This is courtesy of People. California dad gets year in jail, 3 years probation for incest and providing alcohol to daughter, 18, who died by suicide. The sentencing comes 1 month after Chavez pleaded guilty to the charges following his daughter's December 2025 death. And there go his daughter right there, Michaela Renee Settles. And there go the devil right there, Stephen Vincent Chavez. Right? Let's get into the story. We're going to skip this. Nearly 1 year after an 18-year-old committed suicide, months after she was sexually assaulted and given alcohol by her father, the 41-year-old has been sentenced to jail time. Stephen Vincent Chavez was sentenced to 1 year in Ventura County Jail and 3 years of felony probation after the December 2025 death of his biological daughter, Michaela Renee Settles. Ventura County District Attorney Erica Nasarenko announced on Tuesday, June 23rd. That is just, I'm telling you, that is so sad that this dude would take advantage of his daughter like that. The sentencing comes 1 month after Chavez pleaded guilty to the charges, as well as admitting to taking advantage of a position of trust and that the victim was particularly vulnerable, according to the district attorney. And you know, and this dude, he really didn't see nothing wrong with sexually assaulting his daughter, man. He didn't see nothing wrong with that. You know, out of all the women on the face of the earth, he targeted his own flesh and blood, man. This is every parent's nightmare and every child's nightmare. The People requested the maximum 3-year state prison sentence because the defendant exploited his position as a father, violated his daughter's trust, supplied her with alcohol, and engaged in criminal conduct that forever altered the course of her life, said Deputy District Attorney Tessa McCarthy in a press statement, and I agree with that. While we respect the court's decision, we continue to believe a state prison sentence was warranted under the facts of this case, her statement continued. And she's right, but that's California for you. You know, a state where he was able to molest his daughter, give her alcohol because she wasn't old enough to drink, and he don't go to prison. He gets to lollygag and kick it up in the county jail. Well, I got news for you. They don't like people like that in the county jail either. So he's still gonna have a hard time. And I'm not advocating for no violence against him, but everybody know, nobody likes sex offenders. Nobody. You know, maybe the sex offenders' moms, parents, they might like them. You know, if they got kids, they might like them and love them and stuff like that. But some people just don't want those kind of people around, and rightfully so. And the sex offender themselves, you can't blame anybody for feeling that way about you when you done something that you done to get you on the registered sex offenders list. That was a choice you made. And hey, if you served your time, if you served your probation or whatever, you paid your debt to society, well, that's cool. But you can't make people like you know? Because nobody like a sex offender. Nobody like a rapist. None of that stuff is cool. A woman should be able to walk down the street and feel safe without nobody trying to, violate her. That's just it. And so should a man, because, I done stories where men done been raped, by sodomites, devilish sodomites, man, that wanted to, take this man's butt, It's disgusting. During Chavez's sentencing, various members of Chavez's family addressed the court, reading what the district attorney said were emotional victim impact statements describing the lasting trauma caused by the defendant's actions and the devastating loss of Michaela. Her family told Fox 11 she moved to California from North Carolina, where she was staying in Chavez's home in July 2025 to start a new life. The district attorney alleged that in July 2025, after a day of drinking at a family gathering, Chavez purchased additional alcohol for himself and his daughter to continue at home. Chavez then engaged in sexual intercourse with her. So he deliberately got his daughter drunk. 18 years old, right? He got his daughter drunk so he could sexually take advantage of her. And she wasn't even old enough to drink. I thought you had to be 21 to be able to legally consume and buy alcohol. Settles died by suicide in December 2025. And, we hope that she's in a better place, but that's terrible. And, probably the thought of what her dad done to her, what her dad took from her, weighed a lot on her. And anybody that's ever having those kind of thoughts, man, call the suicide hotline and seek help. You never want to hurt yourself. You never want to, do anything to harm yourself. You know what I mean? You always want to seek help if you're having any kind of thoughts like that. You never want to go out like that. That's not a good choice to make. That's a bad choice, and you never do anything like that. Settles died by suicide in December 2025. The Ventura County District Attorney's Office stated in its press release that Nasarenko directed the office's most experienced prosecutors to conduct a comprehensive review of whether additional charges, including rape, could legally be filed. The press release stated that this involved investigators and prosecutors conducting additional interviews, conducting new forensic testings, performing medical evaluations, and analyzing electronic evidence. A team of 10 prosecutors within the district attorney's office reviewed the evidence and findings, the press release states. The office also consulted with experienced prosecutors and legal experts from another county. After this extensive review, all concluded that incest was the only felony charge supported by the law, facts, and admissible evidence. If you or someone you know has been sexually assaulted, please contact the National Sexual Assault Hotline at 1-800-656-HOPE or go to rainn.org. All right. If you or someone you know has been the victim of sexual abuse, text STRENGTH to the crisis text line at 741-741 to be connected to a certified crisis counselor. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health challenges, emotional distress, substance use problems, or just need to talk, call or text 988 or chat at 988lifeline.org 24/7. So you can always take advantage of any of those numbers right there and get the help or get someone that you might need to talk to. There's always going to be someone that'll listen to you. So, back to this devil right here. You should just be ashamed of what you did to your daughter. You disgraced yourself. When you could have helped your daughter, guide her in the right direction, and then you end up being the grandfather, man, the great grandfather, and you'd have a good life, doing what was right. But you decided to be a monster, and now your daughter that's deceased can never give you grandkids. YouTube, what do y'all think about this twisted tale right here? Drop them comments down below, man, and I'll catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.